Welcome back. The political news in full. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi performed on Friday Eid al-Fitr prayers at Field Marshal Hussein Tantawi Mosque in New Cairo alongside with some martyrs' families. After the prayers, President Sisi took part in a celebration at El Manara Center with the families and sons of martyrs and those injured in security operations. President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi on Friday performed Eid al-Fitr on the Lesser Bahram prayer at Field Marshal Hussein Tantawi's mosque, surrounded by a number of sons of the nation's martyrs. The president was accompanied by Al-Azhar Grand Imam Sheikh Ahmed al-Tayyib, Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli, Minister of Defense and Military Production Mohammad Zaki, the Armed Forces Chief of Staff Osama Askar, along with a number of ministers and senior statesmen. The prayer ceremony asserted that the occasion is the perfect opportunity to exchange love, contact with relatives, and do good actions. After the prayer, President el-Sisi shook hands with the joyous sons of martyrs. The head of state then headed to Al Manara International Conference Center, where he had a breakfast with the families and sons of the army and police martyrs. A celebration ceremony was held afterwards to mark the occasion in the attendance of President el-Sisi. In the course of the ceremony, the president honored some of the police and army martyrs. He had been also keen on accompanying the sons of martyrs and those injured in military operations to the games courtyard, where he engaged with them in a set of activities, distributed candy and gifts to the children. Wrapping the ceremony, the head of state, surrounded by the martyrs' sons, took a souvenir photo as part of the feast celebrations. Marking Eid al-Fitr, President Abdel Fattah el-Sisi exchanged greeting cables with heads of states of the Arab and Islamic nations. The president extended his sincere wishes to the leaders and their peoples, calling on God to return the occasion with goodness and blessings to all Arab and Islamic peoples. President el-Sisi, meanwhile, sent greetings to Egyptian communities abroad on the occasion. The head of state, in return, received greetings from senior statesmen who wished more progress and prosperity to the homeland under the president's wise leadership. Via her social media account, Egypt's First Lady, Mrs. Intisar el-Sisi, greeted Egyptians marking Eid al-Fitr. Mrs. Intisar wished many good, peaceful and prosperous returns of this occasion to Egypt, the Arab and Islamic nations. Since dawn, millions of people thronged at the mosque and open courtyards and nationwide, where they performed Eid al-Fitr prayers amid tight security and healthy measures. Egyptians celebrate the occasion by accompanying their children to their prayer, then going to parks, cinemas and cafes as part of the feast celebrations. Police and army forces were deployed at key squares and highways to secure Eid festivities. Ambulances were also rushed to crowded places to deal with any emergency. Large parts of the Muslim world marked the end of the fasting month of Ramadan at sundown Thursday and ushered in the holiday of Eid al-Fitr, but the festivities were overshadowed by raging battles of control of Sudan and a deadly stampede in Yemen. The holiday of Eid al-Fitr ushered in a day of prayers and joy of Muslims around the world on Friday. However, the celebration was marked by tragedy amid the explosion of conflict in Sudan, while in other countries it came against the backdrop of hopes for a better future. After the Ramadan month of fasting, Muslims celebrate Eid al-Fitr with feasts and family visits. The start of the holiday is traditionally based on sightings of the new moon, which vary according to geographic location. In Sudan's capital, Khartoum, blasts of gunfire marked the early hours of the feast day. A deadly conflict in the country that erupted in the past week was forced many people to shelter indoors ahead of the holiday, even as water and food for civilians runs low. In Jerusalem, thousands of faithful gathered in Al-Aqsa Mosque compound, where tensions with Israeli occupation authorities have seethed in the past month. The streets of Arab capitals Damascus, Baghdad, Beirut were also crowded with worshippers heading to mosques and cemeteries. Many Muslims visit the graves of their loved ones after the early morning prayer on the first day of Eid al-Fitr. Islam's holidays follow a lunar calendar, but some countries rely on astronomical calculations rather than physical sightings. This frequently leads to disagreements between religious authorities in different countries, and some sometimes in the same country, over the state date of Eid al-Fitr. This year, Saudi Arabia and many other Arab countries began their Eid celebrations on Friday, while Iran, Pakistan, and Indonesia, among others, set the first day of the holiday for Saturday.